webinar. So if you have just arrived, welcome, welcome, welcome to the 6 Steps to Money, Ease and Abundance webinar. My name is Donna McCallum. I'm also known as the Fairy Godmother, and I am so delighted to welcome you to this webinar. So I would love to find out who is in the room. Please would you make sure that your microphones are muted. You will find that at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. You just make sure that your microphone's got a little line across it. And then I would love you to share in the chat box. Also at the bottom of your screen, you can click on chat. And I'd love you to share which city you're in so we can see who's here, who's in the room, where you all are. And so Sam is like straight off the bat, and she's from Cape Town. Wow, Cape Townians are like fast. Joanne and Barbara and Renette. And Susie's in Denmark, great, from Copenhagen. Hi, Susie. And Vivian's in Johannesburg. And Jen's in Cape Town. So we've got Cape Town, Johannesburg, Kaapstad, Denmark. Stella, you've just done every single webinar this week with me. Wow. Dagmar's in Glasgow. Hi, Dagmar. We've got Victoria, England. Tanya's in England. Great. Welcome. So, yeah, as you're logging in, as you're logging on, you see we've got people from all over South Africa, all over the world. So really welcome. And I'm so delighted to have you here. So you are absolutely in the right place tonight. If you have money causing you any kind of stress and anxiety, so how many of you can relate to this? Money causes you some stress and anxiety. You are absolutely on the right webinar tonight. If you're the type of person who gets kind of overwhelmed by all these bills and all the stuff that you've got to pay, and actually there seems to be more months than money, right? So you're living from paycheck to paycheck, and you're like, wow, really? How do I make this money stuff actually work? You're also in the right place tonight if you're one of those people who's got some stuff sorted around your money, and you are actually a saver, but like, what now? How do you make money grow? How do you make money work for you? And also, if you're the type of person who's already starting to invest and manage and look after your money, but you want to be able to be confident to make your money grow. How do you make your money grow? How do you make your money work for you? So tonight, I am going to be sharing with you why you do some of the strange things with money that you do. We are also going to be looking at why money does some of the strange things with you that it does, right? And how to move into ease and abundance and flow with this beautiful energy called money. We're also going to look at why money sometimes stresses you out and how to shift it. We're going to be looking at what blocks you in the area of money, and we're going to be doing lots of written exercises to shift through your money blocks and how to stress it, how to shift those stresses. And then we're going to be looking at some of your money baggage. So believe it or not, we all have money baggage that we're dragging along from the past. And we're going to be looking at the money baggage, not for too long, but most importantly, I am going to be teaching you a tool of how to shift some of that money baggage, and most importantly, start getting into a great relationship with money. So does that sound good or good? Are you ready to begin? Great. So just a few things before we begin. Please have a pen and paper handy. Also, if you've just arrived, you're in the right place. This is the 6 Steps to Money, Ease and Abundance webinar, and we're going to jump straight into it. So firstly, which one are you? And I'd love you to type in the type box, chat in the chat box. Are you someone who's on this webinar and you're pretty good with money? You're good with money, but you're really wanting to take your money to the next level. Are you someone who has like a kind of so-so relationship with money? Or are you absolutely terrible when it comes to money? So share with me, which one of these are you, right? Which one are you? And you can chat in the chat box and share that with me. My apologies for that. I suddenly disappeared. That's what happens. Fairy godmothers at times appear and then completely disappear. So my sincere apologies. Where were we? Just as we started to chat. So please share with me, which one are you? Are you good with money? Do you have a so-so relationship with money? Are you absolutely terrible with money? Please share with me. Great. And I'm so pleased my fabulous magical assistant, Henriette, is there just to share with you. My apologies. I have no idea what happened. I just disappeared. So we've got some people that are good with money, some people who are so-so, like Nazima and Rayan. And Dagmar is okay, so-so. We've got a lot of so-sos. We've got Karen who's saying, I am terrible. And Henriette, please can I ask you just to check people's mics, just go through the videos and just check people's mics and just switch off anyone who isn't muted. Thank you. Annie says, I am the pits. Okay, so-so was terrible before my first Money Magic. So this is Stella who's done one of my programs. I'm not great. I flip between so-so and terrible, says Clarissa. Okay, well, thank you for being so honest. So what would your life look like if you were in money, ease, and abundance? So that's the title of this webinar tonight. The title of this webinar is the 6 steps to money, ease, and abundance. And if you were experiencing money, ease, and abundance, what would that look like for you? I'd love to find out, what would that look like in your life? So what would you have? What would you be doing? What would you be? And so please share that with me. So Annie says hammocks and travel. Fantastic, Annie, very clear. So you're wanting to travel. Well, I have travel as a big feeling abundant, feeling ease as well. So right now I am coming to you from Portugal. So this is my beautiful room in this retreat center. And I have just been running a retreat here for the last 7 days. My guests, all of my fabulous retreaters left on Tuesday. And so after this, after tonight, I am off for 2 weeks traveling around Portugal and doing a bit of work and traveling. And so this is the amazing thing that money enables you to do. When you get into great relationship with your money, you can travel, you can work on it, so I've got this ability to have freedom of movement, freedom of choice, and it is amazing. So Joanne says, teaching horse riding and riding every day, financially free. So Joanne, we did horse communication on this retreat that I've just run. Also, like horses, amazing, all of these things that are coming in. So Susie says, fewer hours, more time to care for others, time to start something new. Beautiful, Susie. So really clear, right? You'd be working less and working and doing things more that you love. And this is one of the things that money gives us. Choices, absolutely choices. So Leonie says, I would love to work for myself and have enough money. Travel would be awesome, have enough to be comfy and not worry about my wants and needs. And this is one of the things that money causes. If you don't get into great relationship with money, if you don't get on top of your money stuff, money, worry and stress and anxiety will be your constant companions. So Jen says, I want a beautiful home, an inviting space where others are continuously welcome. And the amazing thing about money is that you need to start having these dreams and goals. You need to share with money what you actually want. And this is one of the things that we do in my Money Magic program, get you clear on your dreams and goals and what you really, really want. And where money's going. Because if money isn't directed, most people in the world are saying to money, money, please, I just want to make ends meet at the end of the month. Money, I just need you to pay off my debt. That's not a very inspiring thing for money, right? Money wants to go to great projects. It wants to fund these dream houses and take you on travels, right? So thank you so, so, so much for being here. My name, how many of you have done a webinar with me before? How many of you have done a webinar or you've done a course with me before? If you've done a webinar with me before, type in webinar. If you've done a course with me before, type in what course you've done with me so that I know who's here. If you're a first timer like Leonie, then you're going to put first timer. Okay, so Timothy's a first timer. Tanya's done my GEM program. Amanda's done my GEM program. Stella has done lots of webinars, the gym, Money Magic, great. Other Money Magic is here. Renette's done Money Magic. Annie's done the gym. Karen's done Money Magic. Refilware's done Dreams and Goals with Soul and webinars. Great. So if you are new, welcome, 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 welcome. It is so lovely to have you here. And if you're one of the oldies and you've done courses or you've done webinars with me before, yay, ting, it's so lovely to have you here. So just a little share with you who I am and why I am wearing wings. So my name is Donna McCallum. I'm a fairy godmother, and I have been for almost 13 years now. And as a fairy godmother, what I do is I help people get clear on their dreams and goals and vision for their lives, and I help and support them to make that happen. And I have been fairy godmothering for almost 13 years, and I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of my own dreams and goals come true in the process. So I do my work around South Africa and around the world, in the UK, USA, Germany. Right now I'm in Portugal. And you might be wondering, why does a fairy godmother teach about money? So, I do seminars, I do retreats, I do workshops, I do online programs, I do online webinars like this. And you might be wondering, well, why does a fairy godmother teach about money? And what happened was sorry, I have just, so this is me doing my seminars and workshops. And about maybe 8-9 years ago, geez, I can't believe time is going so fast. 2009, I had been fairy godmothering for 3 years, and I had been doing all of these workshops and courses for people and wondering why there were some people who were having their dreams and goals just happen like that, and other people who were caught up in a bit of a struggle. And because I'm passionate about really giving people practical tools to make things work in their lives, I was like, let me really figure out what's underneath the people who are struggling. And I sent out an email, I sent out a survey to every single person who'd done my workshops and courses and said, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to living your dreams and achieving your goals? And then I left it blank thing, so people could write whatever they wanted to. And what do you think most people said their biggest challenge was? What was most people's biggest challenge? Money, says Dina. Exactly, money. Over 85% of the respondents said money. And I thought, oh my goodness. Wow. So a few months later, was in the shower and I got inspired thought, and I thought, I've got to write an ebook about this, about money and your relationship with money. And I wrote an ebook, and within a few months of putting that up on my website, thousands of people had downloaded it. Then I started doing money seminars, and covering some of the content that I'm going to cover with you tonight about your money blocks and how to shift it and how to move into ease and abundance. And more people were coming to those and having these shifts, and having not only shifts around their money, but also shifts in their dreams and goals. And then in 2011, a number of my students were saying to me, great, we're having money shifts around our money blocks and our money mindset, but what about the practical tools? What about getting out of debt? What about saving? What about investing? How do we start to make our money grow? What about creating financial security and ultimately getting into financial freedom? And so I then created my 9-week Money Magic program, and I've been running that since 2011, and I've had over 1,600 people now go through that program. Oh, I've got a fly buzzing around. And getting out of debt, starting to save, starting to invest, and a number of them are already financially free. 3 of the people who have been through my program already financially free, which means that you no longer have to work for money. Your money that is in investments, in assets, is earning you more money every month than your expenses. How does that sound? Amazing, right? So that's why I'm on this webinar, and I am teaching you about money. So Nazima says, can we still download the ebook? Absolutely, Nazima, you can. What you can do, and what I will do, Nazima, is I will send it to you all tomorrow in the thank you email. So if that's easier for you, you can either go onto my website, very easy, fairygodmother.co.za or fairygodmotherinc.com, or I'll just put it in the thank you email tomorrow. Boom, you can click on it and download it. Okay, great, says Nazima. So technology basics, all of the controls on this webinar at the bottom of your screen, and let's get into shifting through your money blocks. So How do you feel about your money and your finances right now? One word, if you could use one word, how do you feel about your money and your finances right now? And whoever it is that's drawing on my screen, yes, drawing is possible, and I prefer for it not to happen. Thank you. So, Vivian says terrified. Jen says stressed. Tanya says scared. Leanne says excited. And Leonie says concerned, stressed, surviving, depressed, stressed, worried, desperate. Not too bad, says Dagmar, but would like to improve. Stressed, needy, hopeful, frustration. Wow, can you see how many of these words are in the stress, anxiety, worry, right? Hopeful, Jen, well, you're in the right place if you're hopeful, because we're going to be shifting some things tonight, right? Can always improve, says Barbara. Concerned, worried, fear, right? Yeah, absolutely. So I am just getting distracted by the drawing that's going on my screen. So I think what I'm going to do is let me find Henriette. Henriette, please unmute yourself. Then I can just put you onto as a co-host so that you'll be able to mute and unmute people, and also just get rid of the drawing that's going on the screen.
Okay.
All right, great. I've got you, and I'm going to make you a co-host. Great. And you can mute yourself again. Okay, for some reason, it's on a note. Oh, goodness gracious. Now I'm drawing on the screen. Okay, all right. For some reason that didn't work. I'll just carry on. All right. So Melanie's saying, in an amazing space after the Money Magic program. Right. So for some reason I'm now on a noting. Right, let me get that off. Let me go like that. Right. So thank you for sharing that. So I'd love you to consider that everything in life can be seen as a relationship. So you have a relationship with the people in your life, right? That's obvious. Everything is energy. So your energy, the sound coming through to you from me is energy. You sitting on your chair is energy. Your chair is energy. Your bank balance is energy, and money is energy. And we are in relationship with all of the energies in our life. And so you're in a relationship with the people in your life. That's obvious, right? But you also are in a relationship with things. Like you have a relationship with a car that you drive. You have a relationship with a house that you live in. You have a relationship with the office or the business that you work in or work for. And for the purposes of tonight's webinar, you have a relationship with money. So I would love you to share, and we're going to go into our first exercise now. I would love you to imagine that money was a person. Money was some gorgeous guy, or if you're a man, you can make money a lovely lady. So you're going to imagine that this energy of money is a person. And I would like you to think about, if money was a person in your life, what is your current relationship with money like? How do you currently treat money? How do you currently treat money? And I'd love you to do this as a written exercise. So you might want to get your pen and paper out and do it as a written exercise. Or if you want to, you can type it in the type box, whichever is up, it's up to you. And you're going to answer these two questions with the first words, sentences, whatever first comes to mind. My relationship with money is, and if money was in an intimate relationship with me, it would. Okay, and I'm going to give you 44 seconds to answer these when you're writing it down. And then once you've written it down, you can share in the type box. So, Wow, all of these are coming in. So Susie says, my relationship with money is evasive. Sharon says, my relationship with money is possessive. I'm scared of having it, but I need it. So Sharon, you're in this kind of situation where you're like, you need money, you're scared of it. You're like, yeah, I want money. Where is it? Right? So you're trying to be all needy and desperate, but you're also fearful at the same time. Yeah. Timothy says divorced. My relationship with money is divorced. And what you'll probably find, Timothy, is because your relationship with money is divorced, it's not in your life, is it? Money moves away. It doesn't stick around. And he says, I would exhaust him on payday. We'd have the very, very best activities in the world, but after 3 weeks, he's finished and he doesn't see me anymore. Exactly, Annie. So you just kind of go hell for leather. Well, hello, money. Spend him, and then that's it. Gone. So Rafilma says, money is frustrating, and it would feel clingy and suffocated if it was in an intimate relationship with you. Paul says, it would frown on my wife. Money would frown on your wife. Okay, I've got that, Paul. And Sharon says, I'm right. That's exactly what happens with money for her. So Zama was at one of my conferences recently. So it's so lovely to see you here, Zama. Ding! She says, we're at the getting to know each other stage, but we're a bit jaded from past hurts. So Zama's already starting to shift things because she's done some money work with me already. Okay, Vaunine is saying it's a roller coaster. Leonie is saying my relationship with money is shaky and inconsistent. Clarissa says one-sided. I want it, but it tends to pull away from me. It'll be living its own life and leaving me behind. And what you'll find, Clarissa, is that is exactly what money is doing. Because the relationship is one-sided, okay, right? And you'll probably find it's one-sided in that you're not giving money what it needs. Because you're not even sure what money does need. Do you know what money likes and what money doesn't like? Do you know what money needs as an energy? Interesting question, right? And so money, as you say, Clarissa, will be living its own life and leaving you behind. And that's what it's doing. Money's going off and it's going to other places and into other projects and into other people's lives and their dreams and goals and leaving you behind because you're not paying attention to it, right? And you don't know how to treat it. So, true, says Clarissa. Great. Thank you. Thank you for letting me coach you through that. Ding! And for having that realization. So let's go on to the next phase. So if you are in a relationship with money, there are 6 stages of building relationship. And these are the 6 stages of building relationship with money, but these are the 6 stages of building relationship with anything, right? So it could be a person, it could be a friend, it could be a colleague. There are 6 stages of building relationship. So let's imagine for this example that it's a person, right? Money is a person and you're building a relationship with a person. What is the first stage of building relationship? Who can tell me, who can take a guess? What is the first stage of building relationship? What is the first thing that would have to happen if you were building a relationship with someone? Who can tell me? Who can take a guess? Type it into the type box. So Annie says, you need a matchmaker? Great answer, Annie. So I would love to say to you, absolutely. Tanya's saying meet. Rafil is saying meet. Yes, absolutely. The first thing that you would have to do is you would meet them, right? And that's the first stage of building relationship. You would need to meet someone, and in the first meeting that you have with someone, you form an opinion of them, and your opinion is either positive or negative, right? So as you form an opinion about someone, if it's negative, what happens? Right? And Rianne's saying Tinder. Yep, absolutely. Tinder's brought this meeting and forming an opinion into a swipe left or swipe right, right? So if you form a negative opinion, what happens? What happens? Bad start? Yeah, you get off to a bad start, but what you tell them to take a hike, says Annie. Exactly. You tell them to take a hike. You go, you know, it's like goodbye. I don't know how Tinder works. I haven't used it. I found the love of my life before Tinder, you know, came into my life. I thank goodness for that. So what is it? Swipe left or swipe right? I can't remember which one it is that you do, right? Like, phew. No more second meeting, exactly, Maggie, if there's a negative relationship or a negative opinion. But let's assume for the purposes of this that you form a positive opinion about this person that you're meeting for the first time. And then what's the next stage? What is the second stage of building a relationship with someone? What do you start to do then? Who can tell me? Who can take a guess? What do you start to do? What do you start to do? And while I'm waiting for your guesses, I'm going to take a sip of my ginger tea. So Annie says nurture. Trust, communicate. Tanya says get to know them. Absolutely. Tanya, you're absolutely right. Ting! You start learning about each other, right? You start learning, who is this person? You start chatting to them. Who are you? Where are you from? How, where do you live? What do you do for work? Etc. Right? You start getting to know the person and you start learning about each other. And again, you're forming positive and negative opinions. And if the opinion is positive, you then go into the next stage, right? He invites you on some dates, and over those few dates, you're still learning about each other, still forming opinions. And then what is the next stage? So Krishna says you meet again and you get to know them even more. Absolutely. And what is that called? There's something that you start to do as you're meeting them again, as you're spending more time with them. What are you doing? You're committing. Absolutely, Sharon. You're absolutely committing. And some of the things that you're committing are time, energy, effort, right? Resources, money, your emotions, your trust. This is where trust comes in. This is when you're starting to commit your trust and you're finding things in common. Absolutely. So, and all of this, Annie, is about developing a relationship. So all of these are the stages of developing a relationship, right? You're just going through them. You're just getting deeper into this relationship. Now, you go on a few dates, you're really liking each other, you're spending weekends together, and then something happens. And this happens in every single relationship, and I do not believe a couple that tells me that this doesn't happen in their relationship. What is the fourth stage of relationship building? Who can tell me? Who can take a guess? The fourth stage. Arguing. Wow, Sharon, you're so fast on that typing. Yay. Ding, your first fight, your conflict. Exactly, you start to fight. And as you fight, what the fighting is about is it's about learning where the boundaries are. What are the rules of the game here? How do we create the rules of this relationship? And you've all had this experience. You've been in a relationship before where certain things were permissible, and then that relationship ended, and you got into another relationship where suddenly there were arguments about stuff that was completely permissible before in your previous relationship, right? Like, what? I thought that this was normal. That's what the fighting's about. It's about creating and learning what are the rules of this relationship. If we're going to continue together, how are we going to operate together, and what are the rules? And it's exactly the same with money, learning the rules of money. And this is one of the things that I teach in my Money Magic program, that there are 9 rules of money. Most people have no idea that money even has rules. And so they're breaking the rules all the time. And that's why money doesn't stick around, because money's fighting with you. It's like, no, I'm done. Sorry, I'm not sticking around. So, I flicked to the next one. You already saw it. Stage 5 of a relationship building is that you start dreaming and planning the future together. So you start thinking about going on holiday together, or moving into an apartment together, or buying that first place together, or getting married. This is where marriage happens. Having children together, right? And then, what is the 6th stage of relationship and building relationship? Who can tell me? Who can take a guess? What's the 6th stage of building relationship? Divorce, says Annie. Jen says planning, which is slightly better. Okay. So, Annie, we're assuming that this is a growing, thriving, flourishing relationship, right? Creating a future, says Jen. So that's what you're doing with the dreaming and the planning. Absolutely. You're going to continue to grow. Exactly, Tanya. That's exactly what you're doing, right? You're continuing to grow. You're going to work and grow together. And Travis, if this is in your relationship with money, then absolutely the idea is to grow and work together to get you to financial freedom, to get money to freedom and you to freedom, right? Absolutely. So how many times have you heard people that have got divorced say, just didn't grow together, just grew apart? And that is the beauty of this relationship building, right? Is that you've really got to work and grow together. And if you don't, it splits. Now, I'd like you to consider that most relationships, and I'm going to stop the share here because this is a really important point. I'd like you to consider that most relationships in our life are absolutely transient. So even those relationships that you are saying, until death do we part, they are transient. No relationship in your life lasts your whole life, particularly not with people, right? There are only two relationships in your world that last your whole life. The first is the relationship that you have with yourself, and the second is your relationship that you have with money. And these are the two relationships that we tend to spend the least time on. And these are the two relationships that I focus my fairy godmother work on. Teaching people how to get into great relationship with themselves and teaching people how to get into great relationship with their money. So, why are most people not good with money? Why are most people not good with money? And why are most people not able to really get into great relationship with money? And here's the reason why. Because the first time that most people meet money, they form a negative opinion about money. And because you formed a negative opinion about money, you have not gone through the 6 stages of building your relationship with money. How many of you can see that? So Annie's saying, wow. Yeah. So for most of you, you've never got to know money. You've never learned about money. You've never learned about what is money, where is money from, and what is money like, and what does it do, right? You've never committed any time and energy and effort to money apart from spending it, right? All you've done is committing like, oh, here's money, right, here it is, and out. But not committing, you know when you're in a partnership and you're in a relationship, you need to commit time, energy, and effort sometimes to doing what your partner wants to do. So my partner in my life partner, Jeffrey, who is a gorgeous man that I manifested so fabulously, and I'm like pinging myself that I manifested this amazing man. He loves to work and tinker on his car, right? He's an engineer and he's like a mechanical handyman kind of man. And he likes me to just go and sit while he's tinkering with his car, not do anything, just chat to him while he's tinkering or while he's doing something handy or while he's soldering little electronic bits. He likes me just to sit and do that, right? Now, there's nothing really in it for me apart from just spending some time with him and chatting away, but he loves that. So I have learned that it's something that he loves, and so I do some of that, not all the time. Sometimes I just say to him, okay, you on your own, off you go. But other times I do that because I know it really is important to him and he loves it. And it's the same with money. You need to understand, what is money like? What are some of the things that money really needs in a relationship to feel safe, secure? Because a number of you have said that you are feeling stressed, worried, and anxious with money. Let me tell you, money is probably feeling stressed, worried, and anxious with you because you're not giving it the safety it needs. Right? So Zama says, I just realized I've been having one-night stands with money. Absolutely, Zama, and you're not the only one, right? Most people on this webinar have been having that one-night stands with money. Here's the one-night stand. Money comes in, and then whoosh, you spend it. Thank you, money. Bye. Right? So I'm going to take you back in time. I'm going to take you back to your first ever vivid money memory. And we are going to check out what that was. How did you first meet money? And it might have been at a time when you were this kind of age, right? Of this little girl over here, when you were 4 or 5 or 6 years old. For some of you, you might not remember back that far, so it might be when I was 7 or 8, or when I was 11 or 12, or when I was in my teens. And I would like you to answer these questions. So again, a written exercise for you to do. And the written exercise is, what was your first vivid money memory? What were you doing? So Rianne says Monopoly already, right? And then what opinion or belief did you create about money at the time? Because remember, when you meet something for the first time, you create an opinion, either positive or negative, and you created some opinion about money. What was it? And what was your opinion? What was your judgment about money? And what is the effect of that opinion on your life right now? What is the effect of that opinion on your life right now? And so some of you are scribbling away, and I'm going to give you like literally a minute and 13 seconds to do this exercise. I'm going to take some more sips of my tea. And then I'm going to get you to share. Okay, so some of you are still thinking about it. Great. Keep writing. Some of you are already sharing in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, great. So if you're still doing the written exercise, you can carry on writing and thinking about it for yourself. I'm going to read some of what people said. Krishna said 5 cents for a lucky packet a week. That's how you got your money. But what opinion did you create, Krishna? What opinion did you create about money at the time? Nazima said more money, more problems. That was the opinion that you created about money at the time. Murray says, I stole sweets, too scared to ask for money. So there was something, you know what, you were too scared to ask for money. And is that still going on in your life now, Murray, where money is a fearful thing for you, you're scared to ask about it? Susie says, my parents quarreled about money all the time. Okay, so Susie remembers that. And what opinion did you create at the time about it? Because that's the important thing. You're finding out that you've had this negative experience, but you've created an opinion. Okay, so Dagmar says we never talked about money, right? And because Dagmar, you never talked about money, what then happens is that you never ever learn about money. Because how can you learn about something that you never talk about, right? And so what you'll find, Dagmar, is that we don't get taught about money in our schools. We don't get taught about money in our universities. Even if you do a BCom in accounting, you get taught these kind of more highfalutin things than actual personal money and how to manage your personal money. I've had many bookkeepers, accountants, financial advisors that have done my Money Magic program. And they are doing accounting for a whole lot of other people, but are in a mess with their own personal finances, right? So Sharon says, my dad was traveling for work. He obviously didn't leave my mom enough. My mom had us searching for pennies to buy food. My opinion at the time that I created was scarcity. And I'm sure, Sharon, that today, that feeling of scarcity is still quite pervasive in your life, no matter how much money you have. And this is one of the reasons why in my money work, I teach people not just the physical tools of how to get out of debt, how to save, how to invest, how to manage your money, but also the mental and emotional shifts that you need to make and the spiritual shifts. Because if you are incredibly wealthy on a physical level, right? Like monetarily, you've got millions in the bank, but you still feel scarce and you still feel like it's not enough, that's not wealth, right? And this is one of the reasons why I teach about money holistically. Right? So Susie says the opinion that she created as an adult is I never want to be short of money because her parents were always arguing about money and she never wants to be short of money. And so Susie, what you might find is because you never want to be short of money, you might hang on really tight to money. And money's like a partner. It's like a relationship partner. If you're one of those people who's just hanging on really tight and a little bit needy, a little bit desperate and don't go away, don't leave me, then, you know, if you're in a relationship like that, one of the things as a partner is like, you just can't, please give me space. I need space, right? So, wow, look at all of these amazing. So Travis says, so true. Susie says, spot on. Yeah, I've been working with thousands of people around their money stuff. Let me tell you, Susie, I know, I can see, I know the patterns. And I also know how to shift the patterns, right? So Leonie says, opinion that money is scarce and some sort of guilt in having money or spending. My mom lied to my dad about costs all the time. And I'm so pleased, Leonie, that you mentioned guilt, because I often see the shadow emotions arise in people when I do money work with them. And this is one of the reasons why I love to do my Money Magic program over 9 weeks. So I've really got the time to work with you and coach you. And the emotions, when I say the shadow emotions, what I mean is things like guilt, shame, embarrassment, the stress, the fear, all of those shadow emotions come up so often for people. And that is because money isn't talked about and isn't brought into the light. Did you know that money is one of the most taboo subjects in our society? You are more likely to tell a good friend of yours about a one-night stand you had last night than you are ever to discuss how much you earn, how much debt you're in, how much you've got in savings, what you've got invested, where your investments are, right? Makes sense. So if money is so taboo, no wonder there are so many of the shadow emotions, right? 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, talking about sex was completely taboo. And there were a lot of shadow emotions around sex and sexuality. And it's only since sex and sexuality have been coming into the light in the last 10, 15, 20 years that people have been able to shift their feelings of guilt, shame, embarrassment around that. And it's the same with money. And this is one of the reasons why I'm passionate about doing this work, because we need to talk about it and people need to learn how to actually work with money. So Murray says, is saving and investment something that you eat? I'm not sure what that was an answer to, Murray. But do you want to ask me a question? Or is that an opinion that you created about money? I'm not sure. So Nazima says, I'm afraid of making bad choices. Yeah. And many, many, many of the people that when I work with them in money I'm afraid of making a mistake. I'm afraid of investing. I'm afraid about where to invest. What if I make a bad choice? Yeah. And that's why you need to learn about it. So Murray says, I am so in debt that saving and investment seems like an illusion. And Murray, you are not alone. And let me tell you, as a fairy godmother and working with money, debt and being deeply in debt does not scare me, okay? I have had clients who have been deeply indebted. In fact, I had a client in 2016 who did my program. Towards the end of 2016, she did my second program in 2016. And she had over 830,000 rands of consumer debt. Okay, 830,000 rand. That wasn't a home loan. That was credit cards, overdraft, etc. It is now 2 years later and she is done. It's finished. That debt is gone. Amazing, right? So yes, savings and investment can feel like this thing that's very far out here. And that's one of the reasons why with my Money Magic program, it's run over 9 weeks, but actually one of the big bonuses that I give on the program is that you have lifetime access to the program. Because what I find when people do the program, if it's like you, Murray, who's in debt, right, at the moment, for you, the first 4 weeks are going to be really the big weeks for you. You're going to be shifting mental stuff. You're going to be shifting emotional stuff. You're going to be learning how to set up a debt and getting out of your debt, and you're going to be learning how to save at the same time. And I know that sounds impossible now, but if you speak to any of my students or you read any of my testimonials, they'll tell you how they got out of debt and saved at the same time, right? Amazing, right? So, and I teach like a really easy way to have that happen. And so for you, those first 4 weeks are going to be like where the gumph is for you. Some of the people that do my Money Magic program aren't in debt. So for them, the first 2 or 3 weeks is the money, the mental and the emotional stuff. And as they shift through the mental and emotional stuff, okay, great. And now I don't need to do the debt stuff because I'm not in debt, but now saving and investing. And so the beautiful thing is that on the program, you get lifetime access so that every time I run the program, you can revise the program and go along with the new group. So in 6 months' time or a year's time, as your debt is under control and money and savings suddenly doesn't feel like an illusion anymore, but feels like it's possible for you, you can start learning about that. Okay? So thank you. Murray says, I'm enrolling for the 9th of October on credit, so I cannot wait. Wow, Murray. Well, I'm delighted that you've already made that decision. Yay. Awesome. And Stella's saying best date ever, Murray. Believe Stella's one of those that was in debt that shifted it, right? So a number of you, how many of you in your vivid money memory had something about you've got to work hard for money? I saw 1 or 2 of you said something about having to work hard for money, right? Clarissa says yes. Leonie says me, right? You've got to work really hard for money. Prashila says me. Okay, right. So we have been taught absolutely a wrong equation in our society. And it is my passion and duty as a fairy godmother in my work to flippin' bash this equation and shift this belief and transform this in the world, because this is keeping so many people stuck. And it's what I call the struggle paradigm. And we are taught the wrong equation. And the wrong equation is work equals money. So how many of you read that and think, what are you talking about? Work does equal money. What are you talking about? That's the wrong equation. Work does equal money, right? So I'm going to take you back to Standard 6 algebra. And Standard 6 algebra, right? This is the only maths in the class, right? Standard 6 algebra was basic algebra for those of you who are in different countries. It's like the first year of high school algebra. And it's the only maths tonight. When one side, we learned about equations for the first time. And we learned that if one side of an equation goes up, what has to happen to the other side? Right? If one side of an equation goes up, to be equal, then the other side of the equation has also got to increase, says Leonie. Absolutely. So if we increase work, how many of you found that even if you work harder, even if you work smarter, even if you work longer hours, even if you work better, the money doesn't increase in equal proportion? Right? That's because that is a bullshit equation. And here is the true equation. And the true equation is work equals work and money equals money. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is work equals work. Work is something that we have done forever as human beings. Before money even existed as a means for exchange, we worked. And sure, we were working to ensure our survival, to build our shelters and to go and hunt for food, but we worked, right? And we worked for 2 reasons. And these are the 2 reasons that I'm really in my fairy godmother work wanting to bring back into work. And the 2 reasons were, number 1, a sense of belonging to the tribe. Because if you didn't belong to the tribe, if you got kicked out of the tribe, then you would be eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. You would be able to last for about 24 hours in the wilderness without the tribe. So the sense of belonging was one of the reasons we worked, and also to feel a sense of fulfillment, to feel a sense of purposefulness, right? And yet so few people in the world are now working for belonging and fulfillment and purposefulness. Instead, most people in the world are working for money, and that is such a terrible existence. I am so blessed in my own life that I get to do work that I absolutely love. Some of the work that I do, I earn great money out of, and it's amazing, and that is amazing. And what's also amazing is that my money is now in a position in its assets of investments in property and ETFs and a stock portfolio, that my money on a monthly basis earns more money than I do. And that's what I mean by money equals money. You see, money is this beautiful energy that we use as a means of exchange, where we exchange value for value. So I run a money magic program for 9 weeks. I charge you money for it. Great. And then with that money, I can then book my Airbnb next week in Portugal, right? So that's how money changes hands, is this beautiful energy. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you in the context of your relationship with money is because most people think if they just work harder, if they just work longer hours, if they just work smarter, somehow their money situation in their life is going to sort itself out. But actually, if you spend more time at work, if you commit more time, energy, and effort, remember that was stage 3 of building a relationship. If you commit more time, energy, and effort to work, then what do you get? You get a better relationship with work, not with money. So in order to shift your relationship with money, you need to commit time, energy, and effort to your relationship with money. Finding out what money likes and dislikes. Putting simple money systems into your life so that money is held and contained and has some order and has some structure and has some systems and has clarity and has purposefulness, because those are some of the things that money needs and some of the things that money likes. Okay? So I'm sharing that with you. How many of you from that, you've had a bit of an aha, a little bit of a shift? This is one of the things that I throw in all the time so people can start having a shift around this. Okay, so Annie's saying yes. You got to spend time with money, Annie, right? Especially if you're in self-employed. Exactly. And a lot of the people that I work with are entrepreneurs. Some of the people that I work with work for themselves. Some of the people that I work with are in jobs. Some of the people that I work with are in housewives, and they're not actually making the money, but they put amazing systems and structures in place, and amazing things happened. I am on this retreat, and in this retreat center in Portugal, with one of my clients that I worked with in 2010. And in 2011, she did my Money Magic program. At the time, in 2010, when she did my first program with me, she was a housewife in Johannesburg, and they were in a wobbly stage financially in their lives as a family. And she did my Money Magic program. She did my Dreams and Goals with Soul work. And literally 8 years later, you must see this place, a world-class retreat center. She got here 2 years ago, bought this farm, and has converted and shifted it. And one of my participants last week said to her, but what about the money? And she said, when you start to realize, and it was just so wonderful to hear the words coming back. And she said, when you start to realize that money is energy, and money is everywhere, and money is abundance, and you've just really got to show money what your dreams and goals are, and be very clear with money what those are, and then money starts to come from all sorts of places. I was like, yes, yay. So Zama says, spending time with money is easing my fear. Knowing equals knowing. Exactly. When you don't spend time with money, you don't even know what this thing is that you're dealing with. No wonder it creates fear, Zama, because it's an unknown, right? Okay, so how many of you are ready to get into the next little exercise of uncovering your money blocks? You've already uncovered a few through your vivid money memories, right? So Clarissa says, I am. Enough of my blah, 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 blah. Right, so I'd like you to consider that everything in your life can be seen as a result. Okay. Oh, so Rianne says something, and I really want to read it quickly before we get into this. She said, I had a similar conversation with my financial advisor yesterday. The harder you work, the more money you make, it said. But your domestic worker, as an example, can work a million times harder when cleaning. Do they make a million times more money? Exactly. If, Rianne, this was true, that work equaled money, then most African women should be multimillionaires, right? So let's get on to this. Everything is a result. So I'd like you to consider that everything is a result. The fact that you're on this webinar tonight is a result. The fact that you are in a job or not in a job, that you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, that is a result. Your bank balance is a result. So how do you get results in life? Well, what happens is you take an action, and an action leads to a result. And what gives us our actions? Well, we normally think that thoughts give us our actions, but in between thoughts and actions are emotions. And the emotion is either positive or negative. And our thoughts make us have an emotion. Our emotion makes us take an action, and we get a result. So this is in the proper order. We have a thought. The thought gives us an emotion, either painful or pleasurable. That makes us take an action, and that gives us our results. So can you see that there is a direct link between our thoughts and our results? So there's a direct link between our thoughts and our results. Then surely if we want to change our results, and particularly in line with money, we're talking about your money results. You're wanting to, like Murray, get out of debt, or you're wanting to start to save, or like Rianne is talking about her financial advisor and she's wanting to invest and really make her money grow. Then surely all you need to do is change your thoughts. However, a number of people believe that they can control their thoughts. The power of positive thinking movement says to you, just think positively, just think positively, just think positively, it'll all work out. And I say, bull dust. As a fairy godmother, I'll call it as it is, right? Your thoughts are popping up all the time like popcorn, right? As you're sitting on that webinar right now, on this webinar right now, you're listening to me and you're having all sorts of thoughts. You're having thoughts about the things that I'm talking about, but you're also having thoughts about what's happening in the room behind you, next door, what's going to happen tomorrow, what happened earlier today, right? So trying to control your thoughts, and also in this positive thinking, kind of trying to control it like, I'm going to be positive, I'm going to be positive. How many of you have tried that and then you have a negative thought and then you start getting negative with yourself and bashing yourself because you're supposed to be thinking positively? It's like, oh, right? So if you are, so Rianne says, I've just completed Robin Banks' Mind Power, and one of the first laws of the mind is that thoughts are real forces. Absolutely, they are real energy, Rianne, and they are real thought, real. It is real force. However, one of the things to know is that when this kind of having to think positively all the time and then getting upset with yourself for thinking positively is not possible. There will be times when you think positively and times when you think negatively, right? And you can choose one thought over another if you're aware of what you're thinking. But Clarissa, most of our lives are on automatic, and most of our lives you're not aware what you're thinking. You're just thinking. And that's why we're producing results. The results that we're not even aware of. Like, how did I get to this result? And how does this pattern keep happening? I keep trying to get out of debt and I keep getting almost there or getting fully paid off. And then a few months later, I'm back in debt again. How does that happen? Right? And that is because there's something below it that gives us our thoughts. And what gives us our thoughts is our beliefs. And our beliefs have a direct impact on our results. And I'm sharing this with you because I'm wanting to uncover your money blocks, and your money blocks sit at a level of belief. So get out that piece of paper, get out that pen. We're going to be working now and we're going to be uncovering that, right? And I'd like you to write down the first words or sentences that come to mind when you see these. Okay, so when you see these, what are the first sentences or words that come to mind? And just write them down on your piece of paper. And once you're done, you are going to say done in the type box. So I can just monitor where the group is at with this exercise, and I can get rid of this fly in the meantime. So Annie, can you not see the PowerPoint presentation? Can you see the PowerPoint presentation? Oh my goodness. Okay. Can everyone else see the PowerPoint presentation? I've been doing it to the PowerPoint presentation all the time. So Timothy's seeing it, Leonie's seeing it. Yep, everyone's seeing it. Oops, Annie, if you're on your phone, you might need to change your layout. Okay, great. That's what you're answering. No worries. Okay, so that's what you're answering, Annie. Good. I'm pleased you asked the question rather than just thinking, why are we all silent? So let me know when you're done on this one, and I'll swap to the next screen. Okay, so a whole lot of you are done. I'm going to give maybe 30 more seconds for other ones. For everyone else, just to finish off, money is, money is, money is, money is, wealth is, wealth is, wealthy people are. Okay, and I'm going to flick across to the next screen, and you're going to carry on writing the first words, the first sentences that come to mind. Go. And again, let me know when you're done with this.
Not connected to the phone. I don't know. But it was talking from here. Telling you guys, stop connecting.
Okay, so a number of you are getting done, which is great. And he says, phew, done. Exactly, right? The pressure of getting it all done. That's great. So some of you have already shared. Murray said one of his big aha moments was money is meant for other people. Yeah. And so Murray, come and do Money Magic program with me, and we'll really show you that money is meant for you and how to make sure that money comes to you, right? Annie says massive breakthroughs. Wow, Annie, yay, I'm so delighted. I love being able to provide huge value on my free webinars to make sure that you start to have these breakthroughs. Yippee! Would you like to share, Annie? Can I ask you to just unmute yourself and then just share what some of your realizations have been? That would be really amazing. Are you unmuted?
Hello.
Oh, sorry, I muted you just as you unmuted yourself. Unmute yourself again and then share.
Oops.
There we go. Perfect. Got you.
Yeah, they were very, very hectic, my breakthroughs. So I'm not sure I can even speak about it right now, but I love money. But I realized that maybe I don't want to be wealthy.
Why? What are some of the things about wealthy people that you've realized?
They're snobs.
Yeah. What else?
I love money. I don't know, maybe it's my upbringing. Maybe I'm like stuck in my upbringing where I want to be poor. I want to be the girl that says, okay, I must take the jacket off my back and give it to the person next to me. It's like so much to do with upbringing. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, completely
Okay, well,
making sense.
yeah.
But there's something that you believe about wealthy people. So wealthy people are snobs.
Yes.
What else are wealthy people?
That's terrible. Yeah, I think it's my religious upbringing. Yes,
Yeah.
what Maggie's saying now, money is evil, which is nonsense. How can money be evil? It's not money that's evil, it's being wealthy that is evil. Because if you're wealthy, there's almost a perception that you're stingy and you hang on to your stuff and you don't help others. Am I making any sense to you?
Yes, so you're in your belief system. Wealthy people, you've already said, are snobs, stingy, evil, right?
Yeah.
No wonder you're not wanting to create wealth. No wonder money's not sticking around with you.
Wow.
You don't want to be seen as a snob or stingy or evil.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite hectic, I have to say. Well done, Donna. I'll be doing your course.
Yay.
You've got a lot of work. You've got a lot of work to do here.
And I'm going to help you shift it. I'm going to help you shift some of it. But yeah, I'd love you to come and do my course with me. Absolutely. So that we can shift it into like really sustainably. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you
for letting me put you on the spot and share. You can
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So, yeah, just putting Annie on the spot there. Okay, so a number of you are sharing in the chat, right? Stella says, I've just realized my big block is the humiliation of not having enough. Thinking about money is evil, says Maggie. Okay, and Travis says, no, it's the root of money. It's not money is evil. Right? It's, oh my goodness, why have I forgotten it? Not money is the root of all evil. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. That's what they say religiously, right? My dad used to say rich people must be skellum. Okay, so let's just deal with this wealthy people stuff. So, you know, when Nona says, I want money and wealth so that I can share more, I don't believe it's evil at all, but a vehicle to help others and do good. So this is just to show you. Some of you are like, it's evil. Some of you are like, oh my goodness, wealthy people are snobs or stingy or nasty or evil, right? And Winona has a completely different view. She's like, hold on, but, you know, money helps you to share more. Now, isn't this interesting? There are so many different beliefs that exist in the world, right? So many different things about money. So some people believe it's evil. Some people believe it can be used to do amazing work in the world, right? And depending on what belief you hold is the results that you're going to see in your life. So, let me get back to here, and we're just having this feedback on our money beliefs. So I want to deal with the wealthy people and the wealthy people belief that we've got going. So you've got a whole thing, wealthy people are, etc. Right? Snobs, stingy, arrogant, whatever you think wealthy people are. I'm just going to take a deep breath in and out just to center myself, because I just realized my energy just suddenly got scattered there for a few seconds. Okay, so there are a lot of negative beliefs about wealthy people. And in my working with money and working with thousands of people over the last 7 years around money, one of the things that I have realized about money is that money is actually a neutral energy. However, it takes on the characteristics of whatever or whoever holds it and who it flows through, whether that is a person or an individual or a company or organization. So whoever money flows through, it takes on the characteristics of that person or of that organization as it's flowing through, right? But money is not moralistic, it's not judgmental, and it is a completely neutral energy. So a number of people, and if you're chatting, please would you just make sure that your chat is on everyone, not private, just because I'm seeing a lot of private chats coming up on the screen. Thank you. So money is a neutral energy. And I have a number of people who say to me, oh my goodness, I can't become massively wealthy because what if it changes me? How many of you had that? Something about, I can't become massively wealthy because money will change me. And one of the things that I've realized is that money doesn't change people, but money is a neutral energy. It takes on your characteristics and your values, and it adds more to what you bring to the world. And the interesting thing about money as an energy is it's an amplifier. So it amplifies things. It amplifies more who you are in the world, what you bring to the world. So there are wealthy people who are happy, and there are poor people who are happy. And there are wealthy people who are unhappy, and there are poor people who are unhappy. And there are poor people who are stingy, and there are wealthy people who are stingy. And there are poor people who are generous, and there are wealthy people who are generous. Your wealth has nothing to do with the characteristic, right? But when money flows through it, it gets amplified. So if you were stingy before you had wealth and wealth comes through, guess what? That gets amplified and then you become stingy, even more stingy. And if you were generous before you had money and money comes through you, that gets amplified and you become more generous. And we're seeing that with a number, as an example, of a number of billionaires in the world. There are some billionaires who are stingy, and there are some billionaires like Warren Buffett and Oprah Winfrey, uber generous, right? Does that make sense? So I just want to deal with that. So how many of you would like, so please make sure that your chat is on everyone at the bottom of your chat. For some reason, it's now all going onto private chats. And I'm seeing Clarissa says, one of my blocks is the amount of money I'm able to earn is directly proportional to my skill set. I'm not in a career where there's big earning potential. I feel like I'm missing the vehicle. So, Clarissa, one of the things when you have a fixed idea about how much money that you can make, it is absolutely a fixed mindset. And I get this often in my Money Magic program when people start, I can only make X amount because I'm in a nursing career, or I'm a teacher, or I'm in a low paid profession. And one of the things that you're still connecting to is work equals money. One of the things that happens when you start improving your relationship with money is that money starts flowing to you in all different ways. Plus, you start opening up your mind and finding different ways of having money flow to you or increasing that money flow. It's one of the reasons why I call my program Money Magic, because magical things start to happen. And I can't even explain them. But many of the people who've done my programs, hundreds of them have experienced it. Suddenly things happen. So I'll give you an example. I have a woman, Dawn Palasovic, who did my program about 2 years ago. And at the time, she was like, oh my goodness, you're asking me to save? I cannot save more than 500 Rand a month. She was just like, I cannot. And she put that money away, 500 Rand a month. And she was like, this is a massive stretch for me. She started putting away 500 Rand a month. A year later, she shared on our Money Magic Facebook group, because we have this thriving community where people all feedback and support each other, and I keep coaching you, right? And literally, she fed back a year later that in her savings account, there was 30,000 Rand, and she was celebrating. Now, get this, 500 Rand a month times 12 months is not 30,000, right? It's 6,000. So how did 500 Rand a month become 30,000? She started working with money. And as she worked with money, and as she started doing the things that money liked, and as she started understanding how money works, more money flowed to her in different ways. So what is money like? That's a great question. What do you think money likes? If money is a partner, what is money like? And I go into huge depth with this in my Money Magic program. What are some of the things that you think money would like, Leonie? And any of you answer, what do you think money would like? What does money need? What does money like? So I'm aware of time, so I'm going to start giving it to you. It's an interesting question, right? Clear communication, absolutely. A responsible partner, yes. Attention and care, absolutely. What do you want in relationship? You want to be respected. Jen's saying to be received and nurtured. Please make sure that your chat's on everyone. Security, says Sharon. Absolutely, money wants safety and security, and it wants to flow. Exactly, it does. So money wants to be respected. It wants to be honored. It wants you to spend time with it. It wants you to learn about it and know what it wants. It wants order. It wants structure. Money flows to where there is most order, structure, and organization. Most people don't even know what money, order, structure, or organization looks like. And it's very simple to put in those kinds of systems, right? So I'll give you an example. And before we get into shifting your money beliefs, let me give you an example. Let me just move my screen around here. I'm going to stop that share. I'll give you an example. So about 6 weeks ago, my partner Jeffrey and I were watching a film, and it was all about Pablo Escobar. You know, the famed cocaine cartel drug man of Colombia in the 70s and 80s, right? And after, you know, Jeff and I have this amazing relationship. When we learn something new, we often go down these rabbit holes and we start Googling things and learning these things. I love Google, just finding out more and more information. And so as we're finding out the information about Pablo Escobar, I always look at things with a consciousness, with a money consciousness, and understanding how money operates and how it works. Because the more I learn, the more I can teach you, and the more I can help other people shift. And the more it improves my financial well-being and security, and ultimately my financial freedom. And do you know that at the height of Pablo Escobar's cartel, right, money was flowing through into his organization at a rate of $30 million a day. A day. He's one of the richest men in the world. So, how fascinating. Now, as I said to you, money is a neutral energy. It is not judgmental. It's not moralistic. It won't say, oh, you're selling drugs, so I'm not going to you, and you're selling baby clothes, so I am going to you, right? It goes where there's most organization, structure, management, and reading about Pablo Escobar's cartel, seeing what kind of money management and structure and organization he had in place, it was no doubt for me like, wow, of course money flowed there. Okay, so this might be a contentious issue for some of you as you're listening with your like wealthy people are, you know, corrupt, or wealthy people are evil, or any of that. But there are many wealthy people who've made tons of money doing amazingly philanthropic and incredible things, right? So it's not about that, but it's about what money likes. And money loves to flow. Money loves for you to have vision. Money loves to be in great relationship with you. So does that make sense, Leonie? You asked the question, I went off topic, and now I'm going to help you shift your money beliefs. How many of you would like to change some of the money beliefs, the disempowering beliefs that you've realized that you've got about money? So how do we do this? Okay, how do we do this? You start to create a more empowering story. Your belief is just simply a story, and you're going to create a more empowering story based on the results that you want. So you've got to start thinking, what are the results that I want, right? And if you had done any courses with me before 2012, I would have taught you about using simple sentences in the present tense, in the first person, based on the result that you want. What is this called? Who can tell me? Who knows what this is called? Those kind of simple sentences as one of the belief shifting techniques that gets taught in the world. Who knows what that's called? Yeah, it's called an affirmation, Dina. You're absolutely right. Ting, it's called an affirmation. How many of you have tried affirmations before? Anyone tried affirmations before? Mm-hmm. And how many of you have actually stopped doing your affirmations because you found that there was this bitchy back chat, that as you were saying something like, I am wealthy, or I'm earning over $10,000 a month, right? You would find that there was this bitchy back chat sitting on your shoulder, and because it was sitting on your shoulder, bitchy back chatting at you, you were like, ah, and you stopped, right? And that's one of the things that was happening for me, right? one of the things that was happening for me with my affirmations was this bitchy back chats. And I was like, oh my goodness. And some of them would work and some of them wouldn't. And I was like, no, there's got to be a better way. And luckily, because we live in this information age, and I went to the great God Google, and I literally Googled, what is better than affirmations? And I found this incredible man called Noah St. John, and he had already done all of the research and all of the work that I had wanted to do and find out how there's something better, right? And he did this amazing work where he hooked people up to machines. And he found what the brain patterns were when people were doing affirmations. And what he found was that the part of the brain that fires is the true or false part of the brain. It fires, it goes false, 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 or true, 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 because it's a statement. And he found that there is a much better way to shift your beliefs by asking questions. And when you ask a question, particularly a question that starts with a why, based on the result that you want, new neural pathways get formed. So what he found with affirmations is that your affirmations don't create new neural pathways. They strengthen the old ones, but new neural pathways get formed when you ask questions, okay? And he created something called affirmations. Affirmations are similar to affirmations, but way, way, way more effective. I found that in my own life and in the lives of thousands of people that I now teach. So it's a question. It is a why question. And the reason why it's a why question and not a how question is because when you ask how, your brain starts going into linear mode and starts needing to plan and strategize. A why question is more right-brained and it opens up possibility. When you think why, you think about possibility rather than plans, okay? It's a simple question, it's in the present tense, and it's in the first person. And it's based on the results that you want. Okay? So, why am I wealthy? Why am I a money magnet? And why does money flow to me from the most amazing places? Why am I easily and effortlessly earning over 100,000 Rand a month? Why do I have investment properties that are earning me amazing passive income every month? Right? Why am I a super saver and a magic money manager? Are you getting the idea? So it's based on whatever result you want. Do I live in my dream home and it's fully paid off? Why am I able to travel twice a year business class? So are you getting the idea of it? Let me know if you're getting the idea of it. You've all suddenly gone very quiet. So let me tell you a little bit of a story. And let me share a story and then we'll get you to write some affirmations and I'll help you and coach you and make sure that you're spot on with your affirmations. Okay, so it was, and I'm just going to shift back onto full screen now. It was 2009 and I was really excited about my fairy godmothering. I'd been fairy godmothering for over 3 years at that stage. And I was like feeling like I was really living my purpose in the world, doing work that I loved. And at that stage in 2009, I had done workshops around South Africa, in the UK, in Germany, in the US. I'd been asked to write a book by South Africa's largest publisher. It had just been published. It was selling beautifully. It ended up becoming a bestseller in South Africa. So it was just this amazing experience of being a fairy godmother. But towards the end of 2009, I looked at my business bank balance and I had a big cry, a very big cry, because even though I was doing work that I loved, and even though I was teaching people that if you do the work that you love, so Annie says, what is a business bank balance? My bank balance for my business, like my fairy godmother business bank balance. Like I have a bank account for my business and a separate bank account, right? And even though I was doing work that I loved, I was having this big cry because my balance wasn't reflecting that. In fact, it was like very, very little. And I was like, oh my gosh, getting so frustrated. But I know that if you're not getting the results that you want, it is because you have got some kind of block. There is some kind of belief that's going on underneath that is not allowing you to get that result. So very similar to the exercises that you've just gone through, I started writing. wealth is, money is, I can't be massively wealthy, etc. Because all of these things to try and uncover this belief that I had. What is this belief that I've got that's stopping me from generating money? And I knew it wasn't about being an entrepreneur. I'd been an entrepreneur before. And in my previous work, I had an advertising and marketing business. It was my own business. And I had millions of rands going through that business. It was an incredible business, right? So I was like, what is this? I'm doing work that I love. It's not because I'm running my own business. What is it? And then I figured it out. And I had this belief. And the belief was I could be spiritual or wealthy. You see, in my previous business, the advertising and marketing business, I was what you'd call a sin marketer. My big clients were tobacco, alcohol, life insurance. So when I was marketing Lucky Strike and Dunhill cigarettes and Jack Daniels and Absolute Vodka and Moët Chandon, no problem. I could have millions of brands flowing through my bank account, right? But suddenly I'm doing my spiritual work as a fairy godmother, what I believe is my purpose and my spiritual work in the world. And even though the work was going brilliantly, right? The money dried up. Because of a belief, because of a money block. As simple as that. It wasn't because I'm not a good business person, just because of a money block. And at the time, I then started an affirmation, because that's the technology that I knew. And then very quickly in 2012, when I learned about affirmations, I changed it to an affirmation and it's worked brilliantly. And at the beginning of last year, I changed my affirmation. I expanded it. I upgraded it. And here's my affirmation, which I say every single day to myself. And that is, why does the inspiration and value that I add in the world create millions of dollars for me and other people? I used to say, why does the inspiration and value that I add in the world create millions of rands for me and other people? Until at the beginning of last year, I realized, hey, it's happening. And it's been happening for a few years. My work and the inspiration and the value that I'm creating in the world is creating millions of rands for me. And it is creating millions of rands for other people. You know, I had a client, Marie, who did some of my programs in 2012. And at the time, she was in 1 million rands worth of business debt because she'd had a catastrophe the year before from a health perspective in a pregnancy. And her business had just... And so she did my Dreams and Goals program and she did my Money Magic program. And literally at the beginning of the beginning of this year, she contacted me and said her business had just turned over 18 million rand and made a 3 million rand profit. So, you know, the inspiration and value that I helped create around her business and around her money, boom, millions of rands coming to her and to me for doing this work that I do. So let me give you some other examples of affirmations so that you can start getting clear on your affirmations. Why am I a money magnet? Why am I easily earning $10,000 per month? Why am I so fabulously wealthy? Why is my business turnover doubling every year? Why is my money working for me? Why am I managing my money so well? Why is my home fully paid off? Are you getting the idea? Okay, great. So I would love you to type in your affirmation. Okay, and Rafiel has already put something down. She says, why am I earning over 1 million rand per annum and I'm managing it so well and I'm consistently buying property that gives me over 1 million rand of passive income per annum? Perfect, Rafiel. So it's quite a long one. So Murray's like, it's like make-believe. Absolutely, it's make-believe, Murray. It's the result that you want, because currently the results that you're getting are not what you want, right? You're not currently getting the results that you want. So it's based on the result that you want. Because if you create new neural pathways in your brain based on the result that you want, you start getting that result. So I would love you to type in. So Rafiel, you may want to change that just to 3 to make it really simple. And you're going to say, why am I earning over 1 million rands per year? Why am I managing my money so well? And why am I constantly buying property that gives me over 1 million rand of passive income every year? Something like that, unless you like. So one of the things about affirmations is that they've got to make you feel good. So if it feels good, great. And then keep changing the words until it really feels good. So here's a message from Stella. Stella says, I did your Money Magic program last year, did the affirmations. I started saving small amounts. I set up an Alan Gray account a few months ago with savings. Today I got a quote for a necessity. It was 8,000 Rand. I was very upset. Just after this webinar started, I saw a bank notification for a deposit. Not expecting anything, I quickly checked. 8,623 Rand and 26 Rand from Alan Gray. If I did not do Money Magic, I would have had zip with Alan Gray. Right? True money magic happening. Why is my money so happy to work for me? Awesome. Wow. Yay, Stella. Exactly, right? So Stella's in money flow. She's in good relationship with money. Just, and I trust, Stella, that you're going to leave that money in your Alan Gray, earning you money to make money, right? You're not getting this, and you're going to manifest that other money that you need for your necessity. Don't rob your savings. Don't rob your investments. It's very important. So Winona says, why am I earning so much money that I can now make a difference in the world? Great, Winona. And I would take out that I can now make a difference in the world. I would just put it in as, why am I earning so much money and why do I make such a massive difference in the world? Because what you're doing with your affirmation is you're making it conditional. Only when you're earning so much money can you make a difference. You can make a difference tomorrow by going up and smiling at a stranger. So why am I earning so much money and why am I making such a difference in the world? Does that make sense? Great. Why? How did I get to be so financially successful? So Jen, it's a why question, not a how question. The how takes you into linear and planning. So it's, why am I so financially successful? Like in the present, why am I now so financially successful? So why am I so financially successful? So Jill says, why am I earning 60,000 Rand a month? Perfect, Jill. Jen says, why does money love me so much? Yes, Jen. Maggie says, why is my business flourishing so well that I'm making a million per year? Exactly, Maggie. I don't know where you are, so that might be $1 million or £1 million or £1 million or €1 million. Leonie says, why do I earn so easily and effortlessly in work that fulfills me emotionally, spiritually, financially? Yes, Leonie, you've got it. Ding! Dina says, why am I selling my coaching program every week in an easy and effortless manner? Yes, Dina, absolutely. That's a great affirmation. And notice that you've connected your affirmation to work. Okay? And work doesn't necessarily equal money. So also create another one that's money related. Okay? Got it? Great. There are loads of them coming out. Why am I now financially independent? Great one, Tanya. Rosalind, why is my business beginning to take flight and attract interest and results for me and those in my team? Great, Rosalind, you've got it. Nazima, why is it easy and a joy to help family and friends? Why am I debt-free by the age of 40? Absolutely. Or why does it feel so good to be debt-free? Glinda says, why am I financially abundant and able to inspire and help animals and people all over the world? Awesome. Sheila says, why am I the highest paid earner in my network marketing company every month? Great, you've got it. And for those of you, so Dina says, why am I financially free? Absolutely, Dina. Yay, ding. I've got one of mine that I say every day is, why am I fully financially free by 2019? And I'm on track for that, being fully financially free by 2019. Yay. So if you like anyone else's and you want to steal it, please steal their affirmations. This is the time to use them, steal them. Great. So remember, everything is a result. So you're going to start with the results that you want. That's how the affirmation works. And you're going to create and write down the affirmation and make sure it starts with a why. So why is my business the most trusted go-to business in my area? Great. Murray, I wouldn't necessarily do the monopoly, but the monopoly means that you feel afraid of competition. So I would just say, why is my business the most trusted go-to business in the area? And why is there so much money flowing to me? And why is there so much money flowing through my business? And why am I able to save and invest my money? Things like that. And you can increase it to the Western Cape, of course. Absolutely. You can get as big as you want. So affirmations. The next step with affirmations is to say them out loud every day to yourself. Right? Saying your affirmations out loud every day to yourself. Time when you've got idle time, when you're cooking your porridge, when you're in the car on the way to work, when you're in the shower, say them out loud. Write them down. If you're the type of person who's got a little to-do list or to-do book, I've got my little book. It even says Donna McCallum on it. And I write down my little things that I need to do. Write down your affirmations. Use technology to remind you. If you follow me around, you will notice that every 55, 75 minutes, boom, on my phone is a little reminder, and it's an affirmation. And I look at it and say, why do I have a relationship of such deep faith and trust with money? And then I put it down. Then I carry on my day. Why do I have over 10 investment properties that are earning me amazing passive income every month? Then I put it down. And it's incredible, incredible, incredible. Use your technology. Put them as reminders on your phone. Post-it notes. I'm a huge believer in post-it notes as a fairy godmother. Write your affirmations on your post-it notes and stick it around your life. Stick it next to your bed, on your bathroom mirror, on your fridge, on your partner's head, wherever you are going to see them most. And even if they fade into the background, that's okay, right? They are just amazing reminders to your subconscious. Remember, we're creating new beliefs, because when we create new beliefs, we get new results. And this is the foundation work that you have to do. Because even if more money comes in, right, if you're still in your faulty money blocks and money patterns, it's going to filter into more debt. It's going to filter into an expense coming along and taking that money away. Nazima says, why am I managing my time so well? Exactly. Maggie says, why do I have so much money that I'm able to share it with the poor? Exactly, Maggie. Great. So, and another thing to do with your affirmations is to say them softly to yourself when you have idle time. For me, when I am standing in a grocery queue, that's when I do my affirmations. So I've got my groceries, I'm in the queue. Instead of flicking through my book, my Facebook, I say my affirmations. Now, I'd like you to consider that with affirmations, you might be thinking, really? How do these work? Really? This really works? That most of the time you are doing affirmations, but you are doing them in the negative. So you are doing affirmations like, geez, why is everything getting so expensive? Why do I never seem to have enough money at the end of the month? Geez, why am I never able to get out of my debt? Why does that guy always seem to get like the bonuses and the promotions and I never do? Why do I never seem to be able to get ahead with money? Why is money stressing me out so much? Can you see that? Can you see that in your head, anyway, you are doing these affirmations, but you are doing them in the negative? So let me tell you, get clear on the results that you want and then start doing them in the positive and shift your results. Because the more you think about, geez, why is money always so stressful? Why do I never have enough? Why do I never have enough? Guess what you end up having? Never having enough. Geez, why every time I go for grocery shopping, why is it just like I can never, like it's always getting more expensive? Yeah, you know that. You're doing it. And those of you, some of you have had aha moments and realizations. So I'm going to share with you the 4 attractive emotions at the end of this program, but I want to share with you some of the affirmations that some of my students on my Money Magic program have done. Why am I earning 60,000 Rand per month with ease? Why am I able to buy my dream house cash? Why am I able to travel overseas twice a year? And she put it on this beautiful picture, and then she put it up in her life, right? So make it beautiful. Do that. Teresa on my Money Magic program a year ago said, why am I able to earn money abundantly while doing what I love and what I'm naturally good at? I love this one. And so did a number of other Money Magicers who were on. So if you like other people's affirmations that you've heard, steal them, use them. And the way to test your affirmation, does it start with a why? Does it make you feel good? If it doesn't make you feel good, then move it around, shift the words around until it makes you feel good. That's the thing with affirmations. It's got to make you feel good. Does your mind curiously look for the solution rather than rejecting the question? This is a big one, right? You don't have to have the answer to the question, but your mind has got to be curious about it, not just saying, right? And if your mind rejects the question, then find a different way of asking the question that makes you feel good. All right, is that clear? Are you all up for it? Please, the big takeout out of this webinar is these affirmations. I've got another 20 minutes with you for this webinar. I would love, and I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 attractive emotions at the end of this webinar. But right now, I would love to have the opportunity to and then I'll also be taking your questions and answering any questions that you have. right, at the end of this webinar. And I will have time for questions, but I would love to take a few moments to tell you a little bit about my Money Magic program. Would that be okay? Would it be okay if I spent like 10 minutes telling you about my Money Magic program, and then in the last 10 minutes together, I'll answer questions, and we'll also be doing the 4 attractive emotions. Okay, so a lot of you saying, yep, absolutely. So this is a quick one. I forgot to share with you this about Imogen. So Imogen has done my Money Magic program, and this is what she has to say, her success story about affirmations. So she says, I did the course last year, June, and this was 2 years ago. So this would be my 3rd round of involvement in the awesome Facebook group. And the reason why she's saying it's her 3rd round of involvement is because, I think I told you before, you have lifetime access to the program. So in the lifetime access to the program, you can do the program again when the next group does it. I only run the program twice a year. So I do an intake towards the beginning of the year, and I do an intake because I want to be able to give you my full focus, my full coaching, my full attention. So I don't run the program whenever you want to do it. It's only done twice a year. So she says, within 3 to 4 weeks of starting, I was offered a job paying almost 4 times my salary. 2 weeks later, I started. So she quadrupled her salary. So I want you to imagine what that would be worth to you if you could double your salary or triple your salary. And even if you're one of those people, and I forgot who said, I'm in a profession that doesn't pay much, just imagine what would it be if you doubled your salary or tripled your salary. What would that mean for you? What would that mean for your family? And particularly if you knew how to manage your money, right? And how to make things happen. What would that be worth to you? So she says, when you get to the affirmation part, she says affirmations. I don't teach affirmations. I teach affirmations. So that's what she means. When I get to the affirmation part of this course, watch all the videos and do it. I still use them and they work. I have a lot of debt, and I'm working on settling all my outstanding accounts. So Murray, also like you, she had lots of debt when she started the Money Magic program. She said, I had 8 accounts to settle, a combination of loans, overdrafts, credit cards, and store cards. As of Saturday, I have paid off 4. So this is like, she started last year, June. This is the 6th of March, so 9 months later, and she's paid off 4 of her accounts. Okay, so she's halfway through. So it's not get rich quick. It's not you're going to pay off all your accounts in 9 weeks. No, this is a get rich slow program. How to do it sustainably. How to make it really work. She says, one of her affirmations is, why have I settled all my outstanding accounts by June 2017? My favorite one is still, why do I have so much money magic in my life daily? And there is just money all around, and it'll come to you. It's about treating it with respect and appreciation, and it'll look after you. My partner and I have had no savings to speak of. We now have 50,000 in our financial freedom account. So get this. In June, she had no savings. By March, she had 50,000 in a financial freedom account, which is an account we do not touch, and an extra 5,000 in instant savings for emergencies. So this is what I mean, Murray, when I said you're going to start saving and paying off your debt at the same time. Right? Most people think, oh, just when I paid off my debt, then I'll start to save, and that never happens. So she says, so we're getting there. It's a never-ending journey. Enjoy it. So I wanted to share that with you to show you the power of affirmations. Affirmations work. Within 2 weeks of doing her affirmations, her money quadrupled. Her income quadrupled, 4 times her salary. So on this webinar tonight, I haven't taught you about getting out of debt. I haven't done any of the tactics of that. I haven't taught you about how to save and the steps to saving. I haven't talked about investments. We haven't spoken about my best strategy in property or ETFs or even Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I haven't talked about any of that. Why? Because none of that makes any difference if you do not first meet and form a good opinion about money. So during this webinar tonight, I have really focused and concentrated on you starting to shift your opinion about money. And I've given you this powerful tool of your affirmations to help you start to do that. And as you start to do that, then you'll be wanting to get into the next stages of building your relationship with money. And in my Money Magic program over the 9 weeks, I literally take you through all of these steps of building your relationship with money. So learning about money. What is money like? What is money not like? How do you commit time, energy, and effort to money? What do you need to do? What are the rules of money? And I mentioned that there are 9 rules of money. If you follow them, money starts to create real magic in your life. What are your dreams and your plans for money? What is your vision for money? Because when you start having dreams and plans that are exciting, money comes and money flows to you. Most people, their big plan with money is money help me get out of debt. Not very inspiring for money. But then there are people like Elon Musk saying, money, we are colonizing Mars. And guess what? Money goes, wow, what an awesome vision. What an awesome dream. Jeez, okay, we'll flow to you. Can you see that? So money loves it when there's vision and there's plans and there's dreams. And so you need to be able to give your money direction, and more money will flow to you the more direction and big dreams you give it. And then I teach you how to put systems and habits in place so that you can really work and grow together, and so that your money starts making more money than you do. So how many of you had any beliefs around money? When you were doing your money beliefs, you had like, I can't become massively wealthy because it'll take too much time, or I don't know enough, or it'll be too much responsibility. How many of you had that? Any of you have that? So Clarissa had that, Glynis had that. Okay, so once in the beginning, you need to learn about money. You need to commit some time, energy, and effort with money. It's a bit like being at the gym, right? If you're unfit, to get fit, you need to start getting into gym and like getting fit. And often you need to get a personal trainer to actually make sure in the beginning that you get to gym. So that's what this Money Magic program is like. It's like you getting into money fitness and having me as your personal trainer. And I literally train you for 9 weeks and show you how to be money fit, show you the kind of fitness and the systems that you need to stay in fitness. And if any of you have ever gone from unfit to fit, you know that by the end of a 9-week training program, you're like, wow, okay, I'm feeling fit, I'm feeling healthy, I'm feeling like I know what I'm doing, I've got the exercises, and you feel a lot more inspired to exercise, right? And it's going to be exactly the same with money. So my money systems and processes are in place in my own life. I teach them and they're in place in my own life. This is how much time it takes me to manage my money. It takes me about 1 hour a week. That's including saying my affirmations daily. About 3 hours a month it takes me to just look over my stock portfolio and to manage my investment properties. And it takes about 2 full days a year. That's how much time it takes once you've got the systems and processes in place. And I'll be teaching you those systems and processes on the Money Magic program. And then I also do a lot of learning about money. That's additional time that I do, right? But that's how much time it takes. And what is the financial situation that I'm in? Well, the financial situation is that I am not financially free yet, but I have this amazing relationship with money and a great money system. And I'm in a situation now where my money makes more money than I do. So my money that I spend that amount of time on, right? Not the work, not working for money, right? I literally am spending about 7 or 8 hours a month, 2 full days a year, right? And my money with that amount of time is making more money than I do. So my passive income from my savings and investors makes more money than my salary. So the objective with the Money Magic program is that within the next 7 to 10 years, if you put the money systems and processes in place, you will be financially free. So I want you to consider, how old were you 7 or 10 years ago? And what if you had put those money systems in place then? You would be financially free now. So this is not a get-rich-quick program. This is not, within 9 weeks, you will have millions coming into your bank account. No. Anyone who's teaching you a get-rich-quick thing is teaching you how to get poor quick and themselves rich fast. Okay, this is not get-rich-quick. This is a get-rich-slow program. How to build your relationship with money in a way that is sustainable. This is not a one-night stand with money. This is not a money roller coaster, okay? Because any of that get-rich-quick stuff is a roller coaster-ish. Ask anyone that's been investing in Bitcoin in the last year. It's been a roller coaster, right? So it is about sustainability. That's what I'm teaching you. So if you want get rich quick, go to someone else. If you want 7 to 10 years of how to make it really work without going through the roller coaster, then this program is for you. How do I know it'll take you 7 to 10 years? Because that is happening in my own life. And it is also happening in a number of the students that I'm teaching. It also doesn't matter where you currently are financially, because you might say, oh my goodness, Donna, I've got so much debt, 7 to 10 years. If it's going to take the average person 7 to 10 years, it's going to take me 20 years. No, it doesn't matter what your situation is, whether you are feeling the weight of that debt, or whether you're the type of person who's living from paycheck to paycheck, or if you're the type of person who isn't living from paycheck to paycheck, you've got some savings, but you just don't know how to make your money grow and work for you, right? Whichever group you sit in, between 7 to 10 years, you can be financially free. So how do I know that? Because it's happening in my own life. It's also happening for some of my clients. This is a Leader Lamboy. She is financially free, has 12 investment properties. When she joined my Money Magic program, she had the property that she lived in. And that was in 2013. She now has 12 investment properties, earning her amazing passive income every month. 10 of them in South Africa and 2 of them in the US. Kerry James, also financially free. You can watch his testimonial on my Money Magic page, right? He was in debt, Murray. He was in debt when he did the Money Magic program, now financially free. And then there's more immediate results that people get. You know, because some of you are like, really? I'm going to do this program and then have to wait 7 to 10 years? Oh, my goodness. Okay. And Nazima, you can do it quicker. You can possibly do it even quicker, right? Depending on what your financial situation is in now, right? But you'll get more immediate results, like Anika, who started to get her money stuff organized and then wanted to give. So someone was talking about giving to the poor, right? And Anika wanted to like be generous and give. And so she started an NGO, a nonprofit organization on the side, separate from her work, as part of her giving, as part of her money flow. Colleen did Money Magic with me, and within 2 weeks of starting the Money Magic program, got the biggest order for her products, for her business. Nix Davies is an amazing artist, right? But she was a struggling artist. How many of you, you're a struggling artist, or you're a struggling healer, or you're a struggling creative? And now she is able to travel around the world doing her big scale art projects around the world. This year, she spent time in Denmark and Iceland and the UK. Amazing. Erica paid off all of her consumer debts. Anna started to ask for more than she was worth, she had this big struggle with asking for what she was worth, and now she's earning hundreds of thousands of rands every month. Kyle was able to renovate his family home from the savings after saving in Money Magic, doing specific savings and budgeting rather than like stressing about it. Yvonne was able to start her own business and get out of debt and stop her debt. Imogen, you've already heard about. She was able to triple, quadruple her income. And Ndumi was an entrepreneur who was always feeling this like tight crunch at the end of the month around paying her suppliers and paying her business bills. And now she feels excited and grateful about that. So how does the Money Magic program work? The first part of Money Magic is that there is theory. And every week you receive a module from me. It comes via email. And there is a document for you to read. If you are not a reader, that's okay. You can pop it in your ears because there are audios. And you can listen to all of the content of the Money Magic while you're driving your car or when you're at gym or via audio, right? And there are videos for you to watch of me teaching you more about money and the systems and the tips and tricks. And there are also meditations for you to do to help shift your money blocks, right? Because in this program, I don't just teach you the physical systems and structure of money. You'll already have realized that from this webinar. This webinar, I was starting to teach you the mental stuff around money, okay? But I teach the physical aspects of money, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual aspects of money, because I believe that wealth has got to be holistic. There's no point in you having loads of money, but still feeling scarce all the time in your life and like it's not enough and you've got to be desperate and you've got to hang on. Yuck, that's not wealth. Wealth is ease, abundance, right? I talked about the 6 steps to money, ease, and abundance. And the 6 steps to money, ease, and abundance are those 6 steps of building great relationship with money and getting into the ease and getting into the abundance and getting into the flow of lots of money coming to you and being able to give that money out and being able to pay for the things that you need and being able to do the things that you want. Okay. Second part of the program is the practical application. And here you're doing weekly exercises because you'll know that everything is all very good and well in theory, but if you don't actually put things into practice, nothing's going to happen. And so every week there are practical exercises for you to do. And I am on our joint group, which is the support and accountability. I'll get to that now. And I really am coaching you and helping you through that. Because I know sometimes with the exercises, you'll get a little bit stuck, or you'll need to ask questions, or you'll need some support. And so they're exercises for you to do. Sometimes they're written exercises. Sometimes they're practical things for you to do. Start saving, okay? Open up your bills and actually look at how much you owe. Practical things. Sometimes they're written exercises. Sometimes they're emotional exercises. Sometimes they're meditations for you to do. The third part of the program is support and accountability. And this is where the rubber really hits the road, because we have this amazing, thriving Facebook community only for people who have done the program. And I've only done lifetime access to this program since 2016. So since 2016, all the people that have done the program, so it's hundreds of people, are there and helping and supporting. Plus, you get me coaching you, helping you, supporting you, any questions that you've got. And as a bonus for this program is that this program is live, and I will be doing 6 90-minute webinars. So it's very much like this. You see me on video. I will ask to see you on video as well, so that I can coach you. But it's not so much of me speaking. It's a lot more of you asking questions, whether it's your personal financial questions or actually things that you're getting stuck on, things about the exercises, things about the theory that you're learning. And I literally coach you and answer all of your questions. And we do that 6 times during the program. Those are held in the evenings at this kind of time from 7:30 until 9 p.m. South African time. So whatever time you logged on, that's the time that it starts. And I have them on different days. So I have one on a Wednesday and one on a Thursday and one on a Sunday, so that you can, so it's not like they're on the same days. The second bonus that you get for joining Money Magic is recently I ran something called the Financial Confidence Conference, and you get the full video package of that whole full day where we share. Wow, I'm so sorry about that. Wow, whew, my internet dropped again. I've had super stellar, amazing Portuguese internet the whole time I've been here, and then chook, suddenly it dropped. Okay, so the second bonus is you get my Financial Confidence Conference video package. The third bonus is the Out of Fear into Fabulousness program, because I know that at times money can cause fear for people. So once you've done the Money Magic program, you do this 21-day program to really, with all the tools to shift your fear. And the fourth bonus is one that I've already spoken about. You get lifetime access to the program. So lifetime access to the program. And that's for as long as I run the program, for however many years that I continue to run the program, which will be a number more years. You can keep doing the program whenever you wish to. So that's over 5,485 rands worth of bonuses in dollars, $548 worth of bonuses. And I've got a special webinar bonus. So I know there's some people like Murray who's like, yes, I'm absolutely going to do this course. Great. And if you are one of those people where it's like, yes, I'd love to do it, and you're one of the first 5 people to sign up, and you can sign up at moneymagicprogram.com, then you get a free 30-minute coaching session with me. And we will do that. And we're going to do that after the Money Magic program is finished, so that you, if any questions, any personal finances, things that you want to do, this is the only way that you can get personal coaching with me. I do not do personal coaching any other way. I don't take personal clients on. I stopped doing that a number of years ago. This is the only way. It's a special bonus because you're like, yes, I'm in and I want to do it. So Rafilwe says, I signed up on the 25th of July. Do I qualify for it? No. Sorry, Rafilwe. It's the first 5 people from here. Good question. Good that you asked, right? Good that you asked. So the next thing is, how much is it? So it starts, it's a 9-week program, and it starts on Tuesday, the 9th of October. I do a special payment package because I know that some people who are like, what about my debt, or what about this, or what about the consideration? So there are two payment plans. There's a once-off plan and there is a monthly plan. For those of you who are in South Africa or Southern Africa also, Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, anywhere in Southern Africa, the price in rands is 4,900 Rand once off, or 1,750 Rand times 3 months. If you are in Europe or any other country, in the US, Denmark I saw, in the UK, then it's a dollar price that you'll see on my website, $697 once off, or $247 a month times 3 months. And the way that you sign up is you go to moneymagicprogram.com, and I put the link in the chat and you can sign up there. Okay, so I promised to answer some questions. I will do that now, but I want to share with you, before we get into the 4 emotions of money, I just want you to consider the peace, the ease, the security you would feel if your money situation was sorted. A lot of you mentioned at the beginning that you're feeling stressed, worried, anxious about money. The only way that your money situation is going to shift is if you take action and commit some time, energy, and effort to money. So the 4 attractive emotions, we're going to end off with that, and then I will answer all of your questions. And the 4 key emotions for attracting money, for attracting anything, opportunities, people, friends, relationship, money, are these. And this is what I teach in my 2nd week of Money Magic. And we literally get into how to feel this around money. And that is love, inspiration, enthusiasm, and gratitude. Those are the 4 attractive emotions. And if you can keep bringing enthusiasm, inspiration, deep appreciation, and gratitude for the money in your life, your money stuff will start to shift. So now it's my turn to get grateful. I am incredibly grateful to you all for spending 2 hours with me of your time. I know your time is incredibly precious, and I really appreciate that you've given me your time and attention. I am incredibly grateful to my amazing virtual assistant, Henriette, who has been here helping you all out and just been in the background with all of the tech. I'm incredibly grateful that I get to be in Portugal right now and getting to work from here. And I am very grateful that I get to be a fairy godmother and wear wings and wave a wand and have so much abundance in my life. So thank you all so much for being here. If you need to leave now, I understand. And if you want to stay on to ask some questions, I'll be around for the next 10 or 15 minutes to absolutely answer your questions. So fire away. Start your questions. Go. Such a pleasure, Sharon. I'm so pleased you enjoyed it. So if there are any questions, so Daphne says, thanks, looking forward to the MM course. Yay, Daphne, super excited to have you on the Money Magic course. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Stella says, thanks, see you on the 9th. Awesome. Ward, you sent it to me privately, Ward. You said, absolutely need to do this course. Great, would love to have you on. So just again, if you want to click on Money Magic Program, and if you're the type of person who wants to read about it, understand what it is, like go there, read the success stories, read the testimony. Like for me, the proof of the pudding is always in who's done it and what results have they got. So please go through and read the stories of and in their own words, and the videos, watch the videos, that's in their own words. They'll tell you what they've achieved and what's happened. So Timothy says, was very skeptical, but this was super interesting and it's given me a lot to think about. Thank you, Timothy, and thank you for admitting to being skeptical. Yeah, I know money can make us skeptical, and I'm delighted that you got value. That's really great that I turned you from skeptical into giving you a lot to think about. That's awesome. Thank you. Tanya says, Donna, what should you do if your husband has a very negative attitude towards money? Oh, Tanya, this is a question I get so often in my Money Magic program, and also particularly because I work a lot with women, and so yeah, one of the things that they say is, sorry, I got completely distracted. Right, let me just tune back into you, Tanya. So one of the things that my participants often say is that, you know, they are starting to have the shifts with money, and then their husband is negative or their partner is critical. What are they going to do about that? And the thing, unfortunately, is that you cannot change anyone else. This is something that I've learned. Unfortunately, even as a fairy godmother, no matter how much I do, I cannot change anyone else. Damn it. I wish this magic wand just went boom and changed people, but it doesn't. So Mahatma Gandhi had a beautiful quote, and he said, you've got to be the change you want to see in the world. And this is how things shift. And I had a beautiful story from a woman who did my Money Magic program, and she shared it this year when we started Money Magic in March. And she shared because someone was saying, oh, my husband's so negative, what am I going to do? And she said, oh my goodness, when I did Money Magic 3 years ago, that was exactly me. She was doing her affirmations, she was putting them on Post-it notes, and her husband was like, big eyebrows up, going like, what is this? And this is complete nonsense, and this is bull dust, and, you know, just saying this is ridiculous. But she kept at it, and she kept doing it. She didn't try to convert him. She didn't try to shift him. She just kept doing her stuff. And she says, towards the end of last year, she said to him, I really want to have a swimming pool. And he was like, no, we can't have a swimming pool. We can't afford it. No swimming pool. So she said, no, I really want to get a swimming pool. And so I'm going to go and get quotes. And so she started to get quotes. And he was like, we can't afford it. Don't even bother getting quotes. Anyway, she invited 3 different swimming pool contractors to come around and give quotes. And her husband got quite angry. And he was like, you can't be asking for quotes. I told you we don't have the money. And she got the 3 quotes, and she laid them out on one Saturday in front of him. And she said, right, here are the quotes. This is the contractor that I've decided to go with. And here's the savings account. And here is the money. And he was like, what the hell? What do you mean? And she was like, I've been following my Money Magic principles, and here's money for things that I want. I've also got these savings and these investments and these things. And he was like gobsmacked. So she got her pool. She says now he is literally saying his affirmations every day, got Post-it notes up, converted. So you've got to be the change that you want to see in the world, Tanya. That's the way to shift it. And what I find with people who do my Money Magic program is as they're doing more, they just share it. You know, they just share it on and off. I had a woman who didn't, not Money Magic, but she did my Dreams and Goals with Soul program earlier this year. And her husband signed up for one of my programs this year. And she was like, I can't believe it. He signed up for another one. And she was like, I can't believe it. He was so negative, and he signed up for your program. And, you know, because she'd just been mentioning it. And he's had tremendous shifts. So Jen says, what is the website? Yes, Jen. Quick. You want to be one of the first 5. I'm sure the first 5 has already happened. There's the website. Okay. moneymagicprogram.com. In fact, I'm going to even go back here so that you can see it. Right. Just signed up for the program. Thanks, Glynis. Wonderful. How will I know if my mind rejects my affirmations? Maggie, you know that your mind rejects your affirmations because they don't feel good. And your mind's going, what? Really? No ways. That's not going to happen. No. Like that. Does that make sense? Okay. Glynis just signed up. Karen says, thank you so much. You may have saved my husband's life. I love reading things like that. Yay, this is the reason why I do this work. So much shift, so much transformation. Rafielware says, looking forward to Money Magic. Yay, Rafielware. Sharon says, do we have to be on the webinars at the exact time, or can we watch them in our own time? Sharon, you can watch them in your own time. They are all recorded. So this webinar tonight I'm not recording because I really wanted to reward people who are showing up. But all the webinars are recorded, and so you can watch them in your own time, absolutely. Clarissa says, I definitely want to do your course, but I think I'll do the next course with you as I'm currently on another 9-week course. I'm going to rather complete that first. Do I know when my next one will be, more or less? So, Clarissa, I'm not sure when the next one will be. It'll only be in 2019. I do twice a year. I am considering creating a new course at the beginning of next year. So I normally do it in March, but I'm considering doing a new course around that time. So probably May or June. next year. And I also want to say that my price for the program has been the same for the last 2 years, and the price will be going up quite substantially next year. Really, the value that you get and the shifts that people make is like worth. I make this ridiculously affordable so that people don't get stuck in the doing of it. But now I'm realizing how ridiculously affordable it is when I see the massive shifts that are going on for people. And also that people take it more seriously when they're paying the right money for it. Rianne says, Rianne, I've been watching you on the video. Now, hello. You're beautiful. There's beautiful yellow lights behind you. And you've said, how many times a day do you do your affirmations? And how many times do you repeat it? And when is the best time to do it? When you're waking up or before you go to sleep? Absolutely. You can do them as many times as you like. I would say, and how many affirmations to have? As many as feel good. If 4 feel good for you, if 3 feel good for you, if 10 feel good for you, great. And you'll find if you have 10 or 12 to start off with, there'll be some that really resonate with you, and then do the ones that make you feel good. There's no specific time to do them. If you want to do them when you wake up, whenever you remember to do them, do them. And how many times a day? A few times a day. So I do mine when I'm in the shower. I have like habits. I do mine when I'm in the shower. I do mine when I'm in a grocery queue, and I do mine when they pop up on my phone. So sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a day. Louise, I've answered your question about the next course. Sheila says, I worry so much about the outcome of having abundance. Sheila, it's just a belief. The outcome about having abundance is for you. There's a belief around wealthy people are, or if I'm abundant, then it's something for you to shift. Susie says, you've completely convinced me, but I'm on holiday on the 9th. So when is your next course? So Susie, it starts on the 9th. Okay, the first webinar is actually on the 15th of October, and it runs for 9 weeks. So you can still do it. The next course, May, June next year, probably. Jen says, could someone help me sign up? I lost internet connection and didn't get the full explanation. Thanks in advance. So I trust, Jen, that you got it. Okay, she got sorted. Fantastic. Karen says, sorry for the drawing. I'm going to sign up now. Great. And that's all the questions in 10 minutes. Yay. Any more questions? What a fantastic webinar. That was great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying on for all the questions. And if you signed up for the webinar, Clarissa, you will definitely get indications of when my next programs are. You're on my newsletter database, so I will obviously send those through to you. So Louise says, thank you so much. Why do I have the money to pay for this course? Louise, I need to tell you a story about that before, as we end off this webinar. It's the perfect way to end this webinar. I had a client, 2015, I think it was. I'm a very chronological thinker, so that's why I think in years. 2015, her name is Renata Harper. And she came to one of my seminars. And at the time of the seminar, and we went through these money blocks and all of those things, and I see Leonie says, when will the price increase happen? Leonie, the price increase next year, right? And it'll be a big shift. It'll be at least a $2,000 shift in Rand, few $100s shift. So Renata it was like, oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I don't want to go into debt. So she started this affirmation because it was 3 weeks before the course started. And she started an affirmation. Why do I have the money to pay for the course? Why does money flow to me? And why do I have the money to pay for this course? Why do I have the money to pay for this course? 2 days before the course started, she emailed me. And she emailed me this long email. And then I called her because she was just like flabbergasted. And then she was in tears. 2 days before the course started, she got a phone call from her mother, right? Her grandfather had passed away a few months before in the UK. And the will had just been sorted out, and she had been left a little bit of money in the will, in pounds, right? She didn't know that she'd been left any money. They didn't expect any money. She didn't think her grandfather had any money left. and she'd been left this little bit of money so she could easily pay for the course, right? And have money over to spare. And she was just like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe it worked. Oh, wow. And so that's my little story about affirmations around money to pay for the course. And I trust, and I'm going to wave my wand that it happens for you too. I look forward to working with you all. Those of you that have signed up, yippee! Some of you got the half an hour special bonus of coaching with me. And I look forward to seeing you on the 9th of October on our Facebook group and in your email inbox. The first webinar is on the 15th of October. If you've signed up, you'll get all those webinar dates. They'll come into your inbox right now so that you can pop them into your diary and that you've got them. And yeah, to those of you who have been here, I'm passionate about this work. I love being here, and thank you. And I look forward to seeing you in the future on other programs of mine, on other webinars. Keep tapping into the magic. Big. So Glynis says, had a problem with my payment. Yes, Glynis, you should absolutely email me. If you email info@fairygodmotherinc.com or fairygodmother@fairygodmotherinc.com, or just share that just reply to the confirmation email that you got. Then Henriette is around and she'll help you and sort out. Will I be doing any more of these webinars? I have a friend who's interested. I might do another one next week, Clarissa. I'm going to see if there's lots of people saying, I want the recording, and then we say there's no recording. I'm going to just judge the interest. I'll let you know if we do, for sure. Good night. Mwah. Big love. Bye.